and I'd spend the first part of the morning picking them off and throwing them out of the greenhouse. Has been an absolute flying success, such as that big juicy one there. They don't need a huge amount of soil and space, radishes, so this sort of depth of the trough itself will be perfect for them. So the compost I'm using here is a mixture of cocoa coir and homemade compost with some added extra bloodfish and bone and seaweed fertiliser. I've also got the Containerwise Charles Dowding Dibber, which is super handy both for seed sowing and for ejecting your transplants once they're ready to go. So having 180 to 240 plants in that small of a surface area is just incredible. The yield is absolutely fantastic. Now, what's important about watering is making sure that you don't dump a load of water onto the module tray all in one go. I tend to not like doing it in the greenhouse, just purely because then I've got lots of extra moisture and water going everywhere, and I'm trying to avoid bringing slugs into the greenhouse. I have seen much less slugs and snails in here. Some mornings I would walk out and I would just see slugs and snails all over the glass, and I'd spend the first part of the morning picking them off and throwing them out of the greenhouse. What you'll see me first doing here is creating the transplant holes with a wooden dibber I have. Now, I'm equally spacing them throughout the gutter trough, obviously to give them plenty of room to grow, but also to make sure that I can fit as much as possible in here. Now I'm using the Containerwise dib popper to pop out a section of 15 radish seedlings, and I'm popping them into the preset holes that I've made before. Using this type of system really does make life so much easier, because it means that you can very quickly go from seedling tray into planting out super efficiently, using up the space really well. Now I'm moving on to firming in the transplants. It's really important that you make sure that your freshly transplanted seedlings have good contact with the soil. Obviously it makes sure that they don't dry out quickly, but also it makes sure that they can grow their roots nice and strong. And now I'm giving them a really good watering in. And here we are 3 weeks later. So the gutter trough system has been a raging success, judging by the results and looking how happy and healthy the radishes all look in the system. So if we get a closer look, you can see that we have some radishes that are ready. I've purposefully been leaving these a little bit longer just to see if they can bulk out a little bit more, but I would say probably per clump of 4 to 5 radishes, right now there is at least one radish that's ready to pull. So when you get to this stage, what you can do is just pull the largest ones out, and what that will do is that will create more space and room for the existing radishes that are still in the soil, which will allow them to bulk up and get bigger as well. So once again, the gutter trough system has been an absolute flying success, and it just shows you how much food you can grow in such a small space. Happy growing, everyone.